Welcome to the Live Life Well podcast for busy women with me, Joanne Bibby. I hope this is a place where you'll find encouragement, inspiration and community to live life well, body, mind and soul. So welcome to the Live Life Well podcast with myself, Joanne Bibby, a place I hope you find lots of inspiration to look after your mind, body and soul health, so you can thrive and flourish as a busy woman, and maybe even slow down a bit today and think about how you can look after yourself, because you are very precious. And today I am very excited to have our guest on today, the lovely Cynthia Straw, who's going to be talking to us about something that I am really interested in but don't know a lot about. So I'm looking forward to hear what you've got to say, Cynthia. So Cynthia's going to be talking to us today all about essential oils and how we can use them in our lives to help support our well-being. And Cynthia, you're also known as the Oil Lady on socials, aren't you?
That's right.
So please introduce yourself and tell us more about you.
Yeah, thank you, Bibi. Well, Joe, so I'm really happy to be here, and thank you for the invite. So yes, as you say, I'm Cynthia Straw. I'm from Mexico originally. That's what probably my accent is a bit different. And I've been living in UK for 19 years, and I'm really passionate about natural well-being, because I believe our bodies can help us so much to live well. I love outdoors. I'm the mother of two, so as you know, we're really busy women trying to balance work and family life and time for ourselves and with our husbands. So yes, and yes, that's me. I've been here for 19 years also, so quite a long time, but I love it here.
Oh, fantastic. It's great. We both live in Sheffield, don't we? We love it. It's a great city to live in. And I love your accent. It's wonderful. I could listen to you all day, Cynthia.
Thank you.
And it sounds like you do juggle a lot of things. You juggle your business and your passions and your family and your own well-being, which sounds like a lot of us do. And I'm really excited to hear more about your oils and how they work and how they can help us. But first of all, I'd love to ask you something that I ask all my guests. And can you tell us, Cynthia, what does living life well mean to you? What does that look like?
Yeah, well, to me, actually, it feels to me it's like getting up every morning full of energy with no pain. And I say with no pain because I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis 3 years ago. And the pain every morning in my hands, I couldn't move them. It was terrible. And that made, life difficult. So now, to me, is, waking up full of energy with no pain and being able to do what we want to do, and for ourselves first, but for everything that we do, because as moms we have different hats. So being able to do everything that we want to do, the mothers we want to be, the friends we want to be, everything that we want to be in a good way. And I suppose it's just that balance, isn't it? As you say before, it doesn't have to be perfect, but that to me is just having that energy to be able to do what we want to do.
Oh, I love that answer. And our energy and our health are two things that we can really take for granted. I think, especially when we're younger, we've got them in endless amounts in our teens and our 20s, and you get to your 30s and 40s and you think, oh, don't have quite as much of those as I would have liked. But there are things we can do to help us have more, which is great. I know you're going to be talking about that. And I'd forgotten, you told me a bit about your story with your own health and your arthritis. So have you found ways of naturally helping yourself to heal and live without pain? Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, of course. Yes, I have managed. It's been a big change, but first and foremost is it's just habits, really. So my diet, I had to change my diet and to an anti-inflammatory diet. I use my essential oils every single day. I also do exercise every single day, or mostly. Maybe I allow myself one day not to not to do exercise, but normally every single day. And manage stress and sleep, because I suppose when we are looking to everybody, we have to look ourselves as a whole. So for example, if I'm stressed, the stress levels will really damage my body in different ways, and that is shown in different people in different ways, depending what our weakness as a body is. So to me, for example, it was my joints. So therefore, once you try to manage all these together, you can live without it. And at the moment, I feel great because my hands can be moved. I don't have any pain and I don't take any medicine.
Wow.
And you will know better about the diet, but you know, it's just that's the main thing. And then from there, you can just be incorporating different habits that will massively help your health.
Oh, yes, you're talking my language, Cynthia. I love everything you're saying. And it is that full holistic picture, isn't it? It's not just one thing that's going to fix all of our problems. It's not necessarily the medication. The medication can be amazing and it can help, but the fact that you've been able to heal yourself naturally, I hope that gives a lot of hope to people listening that there are things that are within our control. Some things aren't. Life, things that happen in the world
Yeah.
are not always and can be very stressful. But if we can implement these daily healthy habits, they just help us have that little bit more control over our own health, which then makes us better able to cope with everything else that's going on.
That's
And I
right.
love that you've been able to manage your arthritis through these habits. I think I mentioned to you when I met you first, only a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
that my husband had quite a similar story. He was diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis, had really bad swollen, painful joints in his fingers and his feet, couldn't play guitar anymore, which he loved. But he eliminated a lot of inflammatory foods, especially gluten, from his diet, and it's almost gone. And he was prescribed really strong medicine with horrible side effects, and he managed to avoid using that. So I think that's a really inspiring story to encourage us that there are things that are within our control that can help our health and well-being.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. So let's get into the juicy bit. Tell us, please. I love hearing really practical tips, and like I said, I'm really interested in essential oils and how they can support our health. I don't know a lot about them and what does what. So tell us how you got into them and how they've helped your well-being, please.
Yeah. Well, I was introduced to them 7 years ago with my sister. My sister lives in Mexico, and then she came to visit when I had my second boy. And she said to me, "Oh, I've got these amazing things. I said, you're not going to believe it. I use them for everything. You must have them." And I didn't know anything about them back then, but I'm like, oh my goodness, that sounds really, really good. And I thought, well, obviously I trust my sister. She's been using them for a bit and they're incredible. So I got myself a first kit, but it had the diffuser and 10 main oils. And with these 10 main oils, I could deal with like 95% of the, daily situations in our lives, from just to help our body, isn't it? Just give our body everything that it needs to cope with everything that is thrown at us, like headaches and high fever and everything. My friends always laugh because they always go, oh, go to Cynthia, because Cynthia's, it will say like, oh yeah, there's an oil for that. And I always have, yes, absolutely, there is an oil for that. So that's how I got into it. And now, like 7 years on the go, and I would never go without my essential oils. Not even when I travel with my little diffuser, and because I use them like a first aid kit and everything. So that's how I got into them, to my sister, and then we've been learning so much, and it's just incredible.
Oh wow, I guess there's so much to learn, but I love your catchphrase. There's an oil for that. That's a great way of looking at it. So I'd love to hear, as this podcast is mainly aimed at busy women, though everyone's welcome to listen. Are there certain oils you would recommend, maybe firstly for when life is busy and we need to support our energy and our focus, and then maybe other ones that help us then unwind and relax and manage that stress we're talking about? Because like we're saying, like, stress is going to come, but then what can we do to sort of help manage that and put that to one side and unwind and look after ourselves?
Yes. So, for example, for energizing, the one of the amazing oils is peppermint and wild orange. That really makes you like, whoa, ready for action in the morning, well, or at any time. Like if people are flagging at 2 or 3 o'clock, just smelling the peppermint or having a bit of peppermint in the roof of your mouth, it really wakes you up. So those are amazing oils for that. As you say, during the day, we also need to make sure that we have a good rest, and a deep rest, because it's not only the amount of hours that we sleep, but also the quality. So again, there's a lot of essential oils that can support that part. Lavender is amazing. Frankincense, copaiba, for example. Uh, we do a blend called Serenity as well. Those are really good blends to help us quieten our mind and relax.
Mm.
And also during the day, when we are so busy, it really takes a minute or less than a minute just to be able to open your oil, just deep breathe for like three, big deep breaths, and that will change the outcome. And the reason being is, like when we get the essential oils, they go through the olfactory system directly to our brain, and then that within seconds creates, like a chemical and a physical reaction. Therefore, just taking few seconds for ourselves during the day will make us feel better and grounded. So for that, during the busy days, I use Balance and Adaptive. There are like two blends that we've done, and they're really good for that, for just grounding. And my favorite is Jasmine, which I think I shared with you when we met.
Gorgeous.
That makes me feel really, really chill and ready for whatever is there to come. So
Oh,
those are the oils that I would recommend.
oh, fantastic. Well, I'll be making a note of them, and I'm sure everyone
Yeah,
listening is writing those down as you're speaking. I love orange. I love the smell of that. It's absolutely gorgeous,
so
isn't it?
fresh. Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast from Jay Shetty, who's quite a famous sort of motivational speaker, and he was saying he sort of uses essential oils to mark out the different spaces in his house and the different times of day. So he'll have one diffusing during the day when he's working and try to focus and be productive. And he'll switch to one for the evening when it's his time to relax, his time to be off duty. And I love that because a lot of us are working from home, especially after lockdown, or if you've got your own business, and the day can just blend into one, can't it? But to have those oils to mark out the different spaces and times, I think is a lovely idea. And also it just feels like you're treating yourself and doing something nice for yourself, doesn't it? Last
It
night
is.
I had a bath and had a nice bath bomb, and then I put my diffuser on in my bedroom, and I felt like I was at a spa. It was lovely.
Precisely, yeah, and that will re-energize us in it to be able to do what we want to do in the day. And I always think is amazing how we compare, just these little tricks. For example, if I'm going to get up and do exercise, if every morning or whenever the time is right for you to do exercise, I just open, the peppermint, for example. And every time I do that, the day I'm feeling that, oh, I really don't want to exercise because whatever, and I open that peppermint oil and smell it, my body will know it's time for exercise because that's how we've been making the association. And that is so powerful. So to have that, to be able to give us that kick. And the same is the other way around, like if we've been really busy and we're using a specific essential oil for sleeping, for relaxation. Again, when we do these small routines, go in the bath, put your diffuser, your body is associating that, thinking, yeah, it's time for chilling out, as well as all the chemical reactions that particular oil will be creating in your body. So that is a good way of using them and helping us during the day.
Yeah, you're right. There's that double benefit of the benefits of the oils and how they're interacting with our brains, but also the association, just preparing ourselves for what's next, but also just
Yes.
taking care of ourselves. I love that. And yeah, I was on a retreat on Saturday. It was like a very
Yeah.
relaxing day retreat, and there was a lady there that was doing some reflexology, and she had
Yeah.
some oils burning, and they just smelled gorgeous. It really helps set the scene, doesn't it? Like we're
Yeah.
saying. But she was saying she'd picked ones particularly to help us relax, but also to support us with our hormonal health, which I thought
Yes.
was really interesting. So I know a lot of women that listen to this podcast are similar age to me, sort of 30s, 40s, 50s. Either we're just in a monthly sense affected by our hormones changing, or we're approaching menopause or postmenopause. Do you have any recommendations for oils that we can use to help us support our hormones?
Yes, there's quite a variety. Clary sage is really good to balance the hormones. Lavender, bergamot, ylang ylang, geranium, fennel. There's, I think that's amazing things with the oils, that one oil can do many things and many oils can do just the one thing. I personally use a blend called Clary Calm, um, which is just it's all ready for me. So I know that all the oils that are in there are for balancing the hormones, and I use it every single day in the morning and night, because it does make a big difference in my life. And I'm already menopausal. Would you believe I'm a bit earlier for the
Wow.
menopause?
Yeah.
But then again, I don't have any symptoms or anything, and I just try to manage everything with food and with essential oils and the lifestyle. I think it always come back to that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I love that. It's that combination, like we said, isn't it? Not just the one thing, like the oils really help and support, and you can be quite precise about that, but they don't work in isolation. They work with the healthy lifestyle
Precisely.
and what you're eating and how you're moving your body and how you're showing up for yourself. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
geranium was one of the oils the lady on Saturday mentioned. It smelled amazing. She had like lavender and geranium and
Yeah.
frankincense, and oh, it smelled wonderful. So I
Yeah.
think I'll definitely have to get some of those from you. I think
Absolutely.
lavender is the one we all know about, isn't it? The one that helps us relax. But I think most of us beyond that, we don't know a lot. So it's so great to hear you making these like really practical, specific recommendations that we can
Yeah.
then implement. And I love that it's a really quick fix. Like it's like a health hack. Like you say,
Yeah.
you sniff it for a few seconds and it just changes your mindset, your energy. We all need these because we are all busy. We need these like quick, easy things. Because if it's not easy, we won't stick to it. We
We will
won't
want to do it.
find
Yeah,
time.
precisely. Yeah, exactly. So this is just perfect. It doesn't matter what you do in the day, but if you just give yourself them few seconds during the day, by the end of the day, your day will be much better than if you didn't
Yeah.
have any.
Yeah, it's just those little moments of self-care, isn't it? Even you could probably set an alarm, couldn't you, on your phone, like, oh, it's midday, I'll have a little sniff of my peppermint to get me through my afternoon.
Precisely. Yeah.
I love that. It's a really easy, quick health hack, which I think we all need. But then there are times we can then slow down a bit and use them differently, like I
Use them.
say, with a bath or put a face mask on and stick them on, which is
Absolutely. Yes.
also really important, isn't it? So tell me, Cynthia, are there different ways that or better ways to use oils in terms of, would you say like a diffuser is better than an oil burner? Like, are there safer, better ways to use and apply oils?
Yeah. Then yes, I suppose the first there are three ways that you can use and we can use an essential oil is aromatic through the diffuser. Now, when we are talking about with a diffuser, I would never recommend doing a burner because you know it
Mm,
has the fire and then you're burning the oil
yeah,
and basically you are stripping out all the amazing benefits that your oil has. So
yeah.
it's always better either using a diffuser that is water based so that the particles are breaking so small that they're getting into, you know, through our
Mm-hmm.
nose. So that's the first one. So never burn it.
Okay.
Or, you know, when you are using aromatically, you can just open the bottle and smell it like that. And that will be the same effect as if you are using the diffuser. With the diffuser, now everybody in the room is obtaining the benefits as well as your house or your environment smelling gorgeous. So that's a really good way of using it. We can use them topically as well. So, you know, either neat or with a carrier oil, depending, you know, if we are thinking about, for example, exercising and then our muscles are a bit sore, then use an essential oil with a carrier oil and massage your, you know, your body parts. That'd be great. If it's, I don't know, a spot, then you can use it neat, you know, tea tree on the spot, and it'll be
Mm,
amazing. It'll help it healing or drying and then healing. So that's the second way. And the third way is internally. We can take the oils internally. We just need to be aware of the amount that we take and
mm,
also the quality of our oils. So I won't say that you can take internally all the oils. I'm just talking about the oils that I use, which I know they're 100% pure and I know that they can be taken internally. I know that they go through extensive tests and I know I can check every bottle what, you know, the chemical composition of that oil. So with that, you know, I know that I am safe to take them internally. But that's an amazing way as well, you know, to help ourselves, you know, like daily detoxing with your lemon oil in the morning is just
mm,
incredible. And it just takes just one drop because they are so powerful. Just like a funny fact, oils are 50 to 70% more powerful than the herbs.
mm.
So, you know, if you're talking about peppermint, for example, one drop of our essential oil peppermint equals like 24 cups of tea,
Wow.
which is, you know, you just don't need a long, a little, you know, just one drop goes a long way. So those are the three ways that we can use them. And I wouldn't say that there is always like one way better than other. I think using them as we need them in the way we need them, that's what it counts, you know. So for example, if I'm feeling a bit of a tummy situation, I could take one to help that matter. That'd be better than smelling it, for example. So it all
Sure.
depends the situation.
Yeah. Yeah, but that really makes sense. And I guess you get to know what works for you at what times and what you need. But obviously we don't have time to go into every single oil and how to use it today, but that's something that you can advise people with, isn't it? If they've got certain
Yes.
needs or want to know how to use an oil, and you'd be able
Yes,
to direct them about to dilute it or not dilute it, all that kind of thing. That's the sort of thing you can really help people
that's right.
one-to-one with. Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
And I have heard you do have to be very careful with ingesting them, but it's good to know that the ones that you use and recommend are the quality that you wouldn't just buy one off the shelf and
No.
you ingest it. But if you've got advice from a expert like you, then
Yeah.
it's fine and beneficial. It's really interesting about the concentration. I hadn't thought about it because I know that herbs and plants are so beneficial to our health.
They
And
are.
when you're thinking about getting 10 different fruit and veg a day, you've also it's worth thinking about like herbs and spices because they all have nutrients and benefits. But I hadn't thought about how concentrated they must be in an oil and how much more quickly we can absorb and get the benefits of
Yes,
them.
yes,
So that's
that's right. And I forgot to mention as well that you can cook with them as well,
mm.
which is incredible as well.
Yeah, I quite like having a smoothie in the morning, like a protein shake. So you can
Oh
add
yeah.
like a drop, like a chalk, you had a chalk mint smoothie, couldn't you?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yes.
And what about other things that maybe we haven't thought about? So we're thinking about sort of using them to support our health and our well-being through smelling and applying them, but are there other ways you can use oils? I'm thinking I've heard the odd thing about how to use them around the house, maybe like for cleaning products, or like you're saying, having that sort of first aid kit. Are there other ways that we can use them that maybe helps us eliminate toxins and
Toxins.
chemicals from our lives?
Yes, absolutely. I think the another beauty of essential oils is their versatility. So we
Mm.
can use them as cleaning products. So I do, for example, all my cleaning products, my washing powder, um, yes, and you know, like my mopping, and it's so economic. I just literally mop with water, white vinegar, and peppermint. And peppermint, it makes it smell really lovely, but also in the summer it stops all the ants coming. It's incredible, so you don't have to use any of the nasty chemicals to, you know, to kill the poor things. You just do your mopping and they just won't come into your house, you know, so everybody is happy. uh, and then, for example, my toilets and stuff like that, again, I prepare it myself with my concentrate, and then I use different oils that are really good for cleaning. And then we are eliminating all these toxins that we have in our houses, which, by the way, they are really disruptive of our hormones. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we need to look at ourselves as a whole, you know, what we are, you know, eating clean, sleeping, exercising, the toxicity that comes through, you know, the cleaning products, what we're smelling, what we're using in our faces, all these things, you know.
Yes, so it's not just about using things to support our hormones and our health, it's eliminating the things that don't support those things. We're
Exactly.
not working against ourselves. So
Precisely.
I love the tip about the ants. We always get ants. So it's mint, did you say? Mint,
Peppermint,
peppermint.
yes.
Oh, that's so good.
Yes.
I'm writing that down.
Yes, and you could, like this summer, I had some, you know, them flying ants. So
Yes.
I did like a like water with
Mm.
a peppermint in spray, and I sprayed the hole in here where they were coming from, and literally they just disappear. And then I thought, oh, fantastic, it's working amazingly. 2 days later, they were coming from a different little hole. And I was like, all right, then I need to spray all the, you know, all the skirting board, which I did, and they never came back. It's incredible.
Oh, that's amazing. So it's humane, it's not toxic. You don't have to worry about there being chemicals lying about for your children or your pets, but
Yeah,
it's effective.
exactly. And then you can use that peppermint with water to spray yourself because it's really refreshing. It's really cooling.
Yeah.
You can use your peppermint to help with your hot flushes because
Mm.
it's really cooling for, you know, for elevated temperature as well. You can help with that just with that one oil.
That's amazing. I love that. So it's so safe that you can use it to get rid of pests, but you can use it on yourself as
On
well, which is
yourself, yes.
fantastic, isn't it?
Yes,
Oh,
it
I
is.
love all these tips. I feel like we'll all be coming to you, Cynthia, to ask you to give you're going to
Please do.
write us a prescription for all the different things we need oils for. And what about in your health then? You mentioned that it helped you with your arthritis and your inflammation and how you sort of use it as a first aid kit for you and your children. So do you have any little tips for oils that help with that kind of thing?
Yes, I think for first aid, having two boys,
Mm.
they're always very energetic and they're falling down. And so I do a blend myself, which I put frankincense, lavender, and tea tree, which is
Mm.
just wonderful for all kinds of, bumps and burrs and or cuts, anything like that. Just to spray it, and it's wonderful. With the carrier oil, I use it.
Yeah.
So that's one of the my main things that I carry at all times in my backpack.
Mm.
For your stomach as well, you can use like an oil for the stomach, for your headaches, just to help your body to have everything it needs to correct these things. And for my own health, I use them in a preventative way, because it is really good to try to do something once we've got the issue, but we need to go a bit further and use them in every day so that we can prevent getting to that state. So if we are feeling stressed, we don't wait until we are feeling super stressed to use our oil. We need to think, okay, what makes me happy? What do I need to do to balance my life? Okay, if that is a cup of tea, well, I'm going to have a cup of tea. I'm going to sit down for 5 minutes with my essential oil, do my breathing, and then I crack on in the day. If for somebody else is I'm going to go out and do some walking because being in nature is amazing. Again, use your oil, do your breathing, go out, and off we go. It's just to have that preventative, not waiting until we are in it. And for myself, I take my lemon oil in the morning. I do take my supplements, again, all natural supplements, just to make sure that my body is in the perfect condition or as best as possible
Yeah.
to cope with whatever we need to cope.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so good. And you're right. It's all about doing those small daily habits that build our health and resilience so we're not getting to the point of ill health or burnout. It's not that I think something that's going to cure all our problems, but if we're
No.
proactive and we're taking care of ourselves, doing those daily things, they build up to having a big impact, don't they? A big positive impact in our
Yes,
life.
that's
So
right. Yeah,
so good. Oh, I
precisely.
just love everything you've talked about, Cynthia. I'm even more fascinated now, and I'll definitely be talking to you and getting more advice on
Yes,
what else
yes.
I need for my life, and I'm sure other people will want to too. So just remind us, where is the best place for us to stay in touch with you and find you?
Yeah, well, in Instagram probably is a good way. I'm called Cynthia the Oil Lady, Cynthia with a Cynthia, the Oil Lady, and that's how you find me on Instagram. So you can always send me a text, and I'm always happy to help. Also, I do different workshops, like an intro class so that people learn about the oils, what is an essential oil, how to use them. And then I'm doing in the holidays, I always try to do like a workshop for kids, because I
Mm,
think it's really important that the kids start knowing that there are natural ways of using the gifts of the earth, that we can help
mm,
ourselves. So I'm always really passionate about kids and families, learning about this. Then I do about stress and sleep,
mm,
about menopause, and I do another workshop about arthritis, about just how I manage my arthritis. Because sometimes a lot of people ask you, well, how did you do it? So I said, well, this is exactly what I did, and this is what exactly I do. And if that can help other people, amazing.
Oh, absolutely. We need to share our knowledge, don't we? We need to share what's helped us so that we can help other people and get the kids involved. I love that empower them to take care of their health in ways that we didn't know about when we were little. And
No.
so they'll grow up being healthy and flourishing. Oh, so good,
Yes.
Cynthia. Love talking to you today. It's absolutely fascinating. You have such a wealth of knowledge about this topic. So it's been
Oh, thank you.
really great to hear what you got to share. So, just to end on a fun note, Cynthia, I also like to ask my guests, what would you choose to have if it was your very last meal on Earth?
Well, my very last meal, it would be something Mexican, which is called pozole, which we were discussing. Is just this like maize in like a broth, and it has got pork, and it has got chicken, and it has got lettuce and radishes, and then a lot of spices, and then you can put oregano, lemon juice. We Mexicans, we really like citric food, so we always put lemon, and then with a bit of avocado. So that's what I would have, this amazing broth that we do in Mexico.
Oh, it sounds so good. It sounds so full of flavour and so fresh and nourishing. I think food in the UK can be a bit bland and boring, doesn't it? So we all need a bit of those Mexican flavours in our life.
Yeah, bit of chili, which is yeah, it's lovely. So that's what I would have, I think, for my last meal.
Oh, it sounds so good. And it's healthy as well. Amazing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all right. It's okay. Yeah, I don't have too much.
Healthier than a lot of the food we have. Oh, so it's been marvelous to speak to you. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your wisdom with us today. I'm sure we'll have you back to question you more, and I'm sure lots of us will be in touch with our questions about essential oils. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us today.
Thank you very much. It's been really lovely, and you made me feel so welcome and relaxed. So thank you.
Oh, such a pleasure. Thank you everyone for listening. Take care. Thank you so much for listening today. I really hope you've had some inspiration to look after yourself, body, mind, and soul, and feel as well as you deserve to do. Please remember to subscribe and share this podcast if it's been helpful for you. And I'll see you again soon with another episode and some more amazing guests. Take care.